I want to welcome everyone to the joint veterans endorsements for Veterans in Politics International, Nevada Democratic Veterans and Military Families Caucus, Nevada Veterans Association, and Armed Forces Chamber PAC. Right now, I want to please have our moderator. Can you introduce yourself and kind of go through the script a little bit?
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you all for coming today. Thank you to our panel for all of the time that you guys have all put in for all of our candidates this election season. And thank you for being willing to run for office again and being here today. My name is Chelsea Fisher. Currently, I serve on Nye County School Board, Trustee District 5. First, I'd like to also thank our sponsors, DB's Cajun Kitchen, Stephanie Phillips, U.S. Senate candidate, Ava Bravo, Las Vegas Justice of the Peace, Department 2 candidate, Heather Calgary Fleming, Esquire, Levi Schultz, U.S. Congress District 4 candidate, Christian Bishop, Nevada State Senate District candidate. And now I'm going to explain the interview process, and you can let me know if you have any questions. So the panel members will introduce themselves by giving their name, position, and the organization they represent. Each candidate will then be given 45 seconds to introduce themselves. Please include why you are running and why you are seeking our endorsements. Please remember, this is an interview, not a debate. So when asked a question from a panel member, you will please direct your answer towards the panel members only. When a panel member asks you a question, you have 45 seconds to answer. With 15 seconds left, you will see the yellow card. And when your time is up, you will get the red card. Please pay attention to the red card, or we're going to have to fine you Monopoly money. In the end, candidates will be given 45 seconds for a closing statement. Do you have any questions? Thank you.
Jim Jonas, Director of Veterans in Politics International.
Barbara Lucian, member of Veterans in Politics.
Rocco Lacey, Marine Corps veteran and senior officer at Armed Forces Chamber of Commerce.
Len Connell, President, CEO, and founder of RLC Veterans Assistance in Henderson, Nevada.
Good evening, and welcome. Mikey Kelly, Army veteran, Chair, Nevada Democratic Veterans and Military Families Caucus.
Okay, Brandon, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you for the time today. I'm Brandon Davis, a candidate for Assembly District 34. I've lived in Nevada for 12 years. I've lived in my district for 10 of those years. Originally from Northern Illinois, in a blue-collar factory town. I literally stand before you an example of the American dream. From poor and homeless at age 6 to building million-dollar businesses in my district to be able to support my family. I have a beautiful wife. I have 2 young kids, ages 6 and 8, and they are all 100% the reason why I'm running in this race today. I'm a business owner, multi-business owner specializing in digital marketing, communications, and media. I'm also part owner in Nellis Alterations, which is an alteration shop across from the entrance to Nellis Air Force Base.
Well, I guess I'll go with the first question. The federal Constitution states that no state can ever go in the red, so they can't be in debt. However, the federal government bypasses this yearly as long as the president can send National Guard troops wherever they want, whenever they want. What will you do to correct this budget problem in the state so that we don't just have to beg for the president's forgiveness?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I'm a supporter of the Defend the Guard, so let's be clear on that. Yeah, I mean, as a staunch advocate for limited government and fiscal responsibility, I won't stand for egregious spending such as you've mentioned.
Barbara with Veterans in Politics. What do you think is more important for our city, building new homes and commercial space or rehabbing, expanding, utilizing our existing homes and storefronts?
That's a loaded question because I think you can achieve the outcome that you want by both. I mean, right now we obviously see we have an affordable housing crisis in the state of Nevada. So I'm definitely an advocate for new development, but I think I'm also, well, not I think, but I'm also a big advocate for, from the legislature, putting pressure on city governments to reform zoning laws to allow building up, to allow multi-use, to allow various ways that, again, we can create more opportunity for housing, which brings costs down and is better off for everybody.
Rocco Lacey, Armed Forces Chamber of Commerce. If elected and the issue of veterans' homelessness came up, and you were tasked to provide a long-term solution to ensure that no veteran is without shelter, what would be your starting point if you agree with that?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I mean, we see that that's probably one of the top issues facing veterans today, so that's something that I will be on the forefront of in Carson City, working in our capital to make sure that we have those resources available for veterans. I'm a staunch advocate for veterans and making sure, again, that they have those resources, so I will be a champion for that.
Thank you.
Len Connell, RLC Veterans Assistance. If you had the choice between a policy of preventing veterans from ever having to pay for any assistance whatsoever in their service disability awards and other benefits by having to go to the VA or to a veteran service organization, or permitting veterans to pay for their benefits but opening up a private industry of private advocates that might be able to bring more expertise but could invite some corruption by overcharging the veterans, which course would you lean towards, either A or B?
Interesting. There's a lot in that question. Obviously, I'm always going to lean towards the free market system because we see better outcomes and lower costs. That being said, I feel, somebody who has served on behalf of our country deserves to make right for the debt that those individuals have paid. So, to be honest, I mean, I don't have a definitive answer for you either way, but I would say that, again, our country owes that debt and should pay that debt in full. But I'm also, again, a free market advocate, and my red card is here. Thank you for the question.
Mikey Kelly, Nevada Democratic Veterans and Military Families Caucus. Would you consider, I know it's been in the news lately with hedge funds buying up a lot of single-family homes, would you support, I know the federal government, there's a bill to ban hedge funds from buying single-family homes. Would you support such a ban in Nevada? Because we do know that we have seen that a lot of homes, as soon as they're built, they're being bought up. And it almost, for veterans, it kind of disenfranchises us because we can't buy the homes we need because the inventory is not there. Because when the inventory is there, they get bought up very quickly. What do you think? Do you think it's a good idea to ban them, ban hedge funds, or limit them? What would be your idea to protect that opportunity for generational wealth and obviously long-term stability?
Great question. I do not support any bans on free market enterprise from our government keeping individuals and investors from purchasing things in our state. But you are right, that is a thing, right? And I think that there needs to be a larger conversation in that. But again, I do not believe the solution is the federal government setting mandates or bans on what a private investor can purchase in the state of Nevada.
What about us as a state, just doing it as a state, or would you oppose it if the state itself did it?
I would oppose it.
So I actually kind of want to follow up on Mike Kelly's question on that one. So while I am also a strong advocate for free enterprise, unfederated, unregulated capitalism has been proved to be very disastrous. Now, I'm not talking about pure socialism. So you're basically stating right now that you don't think the federal government should regulate any private business.
That's not correct.
Okay. Well, can you correct that statement for me then and clarify it, please?
Yeah, I think that there's incentives that, I mean, we've seen it with, opportunity zones, right? We've seen some different ways that you can incentivize and create programs, right, that can provide the solution to what you're looking for. I don't personally feel, and it's my opinion, that our government should ban, again, an investor from investing in a property.
Okay. Fair enough. Just one quick follow-up, because I just want to follow up on this. So if the government doesn't regulate it, do you actually think people are going to actually regulate it? I'll give you an example. So right now we have a housing problem here in Nevada.
Sure.
Because so many people are selling their homes in California. They're coming over here, and they're only paying a 3% down payment on something that should be an investment property. They should be being charged 20% down payment, and they're gobbling up all the homes, and now we have a housing crisis. How would you handle that situation?
Yeah, again, as I mentioned before, I believe that our housing crisis is slightly created by the government. I think, again, egregious zoning laws has restricted us from being able to create new developments to ease the burden of the low inventory. We currently have 2 months of inventory in our real estate market, which is a huge problem. And with over 80% of our land being owned by the government, I do not feel that mass development is possible right now. So the way that we get closer to that is to, again, build up to release zoning laws to allow for multi-use properties and various other things, which will create opportunities for investors here on the local side.
I am told to please remind our panel members before you speak each time to repeat your name and organization that you represent so the viewers know who's speaking, because they cannot see who is speaking each time. Thank you.
Does anyone else have a question?
RLC Veterans Assistance in Las Vegas and Henderson, Nevada.
Okay.
Veterans who get a trade certificate like electrician, plumber, etc. in the military and may have dozens of years of experience doing that job. They could be the head electrician in an Army base or something like that. Once they leave the service, those military tradesman licenses are worthless.
Yeah.
And they have to start from the beginning. That takes a veteran that could have walked right into a good job and been a pillar of the community to probably working in a call center and more likely to be that veteran living under a free underpass and all kinds of poverty. What would be your idea to create some sort of a voc prep program to get those veterans on a fast track to getting back their tradesman licenses and being able to contribute more to the community and to their families?
Yeah, I mean, I would look less on, creating some sort of program and look more on occupational licensing reform, which I'm a big advocate for. We saw in the last legislative session the nurse licensure compact was denied by our current legislative majority. That could have brought more nurses in a nursing shortage that we currently see. So I would look to the same to remove some of the restrictions on those licenses to allow the veterans to come in, be able to get that license much faster.
Steve, I love this guy. I got another question.
Well, if no one else has any further questions, then I'll just turn it back over to our moderator.
Don't get too fidgety over there. You don't get to leave quite yet.
I'm trying to stay so I can see it.
Mr. Davis, so now you are going to get 45 seconds to share anything that you feel like the panelists might want to know about you, as well as how the viewers and panelists and people watching can contact you, your phone number or website.
Yeah, so I didn't get a chance to finish this earlier. So the shop that I own, I'm partners with the Nevada State Command Sergeant Major for the Nevada National Guard. The other partner is a warrant officer currently, or getting ready to be deployed in September. So very close business partners and friends of mine are veterans that I have access to reach out to ask the questions if I don't personally know it. That's number one. Electbrandondavis.com is the website for your viewers. But again, education is my number one priority. Protecting veterans is another big issue for me, as well as making sure our neighborhoods are safe and supporting small business owners. Those are all my priorities, and I'm very thankful for your time today.
Thank you for your time today. Now that we've concluded this interview, I would like to again thank our sponsors, DB's Cajun Kitchen, Stephanie Phillips, U.S. Senate candidate, Ava Bravo, Las Vegas Justice of the Peace, Department 2 candidate, Heather Calgary Fleming, Esquire, Levi Schultz, U.S. Congress District 4 candidate, Christian Bishop, Nevada State Senate District candidate. And that concludes our interview. Thank you again for your time today.